An update tonight on the rainy conditions impacting the northern Bahamas. The nation's leader making a commitment to assist a local tertiary institution. And Save the Base commissioning another group of youth environmental ambassadors.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Shoshina Roll-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the weather tops the news tonight as Grand Bahama continues to grapple with rainy conditions. This coming just days before the start of the Atlantic hurricane season, and the current conditions are being attributed to a pre-storm. Italia Hall has our top story. Grand Bahama blanketed by heavy rain and wind for the past several days. Senior Met Officer at the Bahamas Department of Meteorology, Kirk James, says this adverse weather is being caused by subtropical storm Alberto, which developed in the northwest Caribbean Sea.
And was predicted to move northward, which had moved north-northeast for a while. And so what that did was that compounded the streaming tropical moisture from south to north. And Sunday, we rained for at least 7 hours on Sunday. And of course, now Monday, the rain was predicted to go into Tuesday. If you look at your forecast, you trace it back, you see it was going into Tuesday. And lo and behold, Monday, we have a whole lot of unsettled weather to the south of us on the radar picture. Courtesy of Alberto again, subtropical storm. Outside the season, last season, the first storm developed in May also.
The 2018 hurricane season will open in just 4 days. He says the preseason storm is no indicator as to how active the hurricane season will be.
There's no direct correlation between the fact that it has started a bit early, above normal season as predicted. And also we want residents, as we keep reiterating, do not be fixated on the numbers. An average season is 12 named storms, 6 hurricanes and 2 to 3 major. This year we're predicting at least 14 and 7, and then 3, about 1 to 3, NOAA says. So don't worry about those numbers. Just prepare for the one of which you don't know when it's going to develop and what track it's going to take.
Now, May is often the start of the rainy season, and for the last 2 weeks, islands in the northern Bahamas have been experiencing periods of inclement weather. James says the unstable weather was due to a surface trough in the Gulf of Mexico.
That's produced all the unsettled weather and the rain, generally over the eastern Gulf, northwest Bahamas, and that's been a persistent trough, staying there for quite a while.
He says residents must take some precautions during these adverse weather conditions.
Residents should be very careful navigating the streets, I'll say, because during moderate to heavy rain, the visibility could become pretty much real low. And of course, the flying public, they will know that I have a threat of thunderstorms out there. The boaters would know there's a threat for strong to severe thunderstorms, water spouts, that kind of thing. So adverse to hazardous weather, inclement weather, unsettled weather, all these terms are descriptive of the weather we're having.
And if you are wondering when these unsettled weather conditions will come to an end, well, the Chief Met Officer says you can expect to see some improvement by Wednesday of this week. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall. And as we move closer to the launch of this year's hurricane season, ZNS Northern Service is doing its part to promote hurricane preparedness. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., the ZNS Community Outreach Radio program will travel to 8 Mile Walk to address the issue of hurricane preparedness in that community. The radio talk show will come live from the Administrator's office in 8 Mile Walk on 8:10 a.m. The Light. Now, among the guests are the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, Administrator Don Cornish, and Chief Counselor Kevin Morris. In news from the crime beat, 9 illegal migrants apprehended at sea during the adverse weather conditions over the weekend. The United States Coast Guard making the interception in Bahamian waters. The Cubans, 8 males and 1 female, were found on board a rustic vessel. They claimed to have departed Cuba on May 17th and were destined for Miami, Florida. The Cubans were flown to the capital to await repatriation. Meantime, a robbery taking place at a business establishment on Spanish Key in the Abaco last night. Reports are that shortly after 10 last night, 2 men, both armed, entered a business establishment on Spanish Key.
accosted 2 employees and stole cash before making their escape. ZNS News has learned that 2 persons are assisting police with these investigations. But if you have any information that can further help police, you should call 367-2560, 367-3437 in Grand Bahama, 350-3107 through 12, 911-919, or your nearest police station. Jeffrey Marcel, age 22 of Caravel Beach, and Hearn Lane, Jermaine Moss, 34 of Jack Smith Corner and 8 Mile Rock, and Stefan Moss, 19 of Rumkey Villas, were all arraigned before Magistrate Gwen Claude at the 8 Mile Rock Court today and charged with possession of an illegal firearm and ammunition. Jeffrey Marcel pled guilty to the charge. He was convicted and sentenced to 4 years at the Department of Corrections in the capital. Now, the other 2 suspects were remanded until July 24th for trial. The men were arrested in the 8 Mile Rock community on Friday night by officers involved in Operation Thunder Sweep. Police tell us that a black .40 pistol with 8 rounds of ammunition were discovered in a 2007 Nissan Note that the 3 men were driving in. Cecil Lamont McPhee, 43, was arraigned before Magistrate Rangan Johnson today for possession of an illegal firearm and ammunition. He pled guilty to the charge, and sentencing was delayed until tomorrow. Police say McPhee was arrested over the weekend on East Mall Drive by officers involved in Operation Thunder. They say a search of his vehicle uncovered a .40 pistol with 12 live rounds of ammunition. And switching gears now, the nation's leader on Grand Bahama recently for his regular monthly working visit. While here, the Prime Minister met with the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute and made a commitment to assist with its further development. Megan Shepard has this report.
Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis says that this visit to Grand Bahama is particularly special because he brought along members of the newly established Prime Minister's Delivery Unit team. He explained the responsibilities of this unit.
It's their job to ensure that whatever commitment and whatever we say we're going to do, they must ensure that it is done, because they would have the might and the power of the office of the Prime Minister to penetrate all the various different agencies to make sure it's done. And as you know, one of the big problems we face here, not only in Grand Bahama but throughout the Bahamas, is ease of doing business. So they would deal with those matters. Education is another issue, and we're trying to look at the entire a new educational curricula, ensuring that technology is definitely a part of it. And they would ensure that Grand Bahama moves with the entire Bahamas' program. So I think that is very significant.
The Prime Minister was able to meet with executives of the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute. He says it was exciting to hear of the programs they currently have, what they plan to implement, and the success of the school.
They graduate 20 students. There are about 200 students within the programs, but they graduate 20 students from the tech programs. And there's 100% employment upon graduation, and there's a demand for more. What it shows that, yes, we're building Grand Bahama as a tech hub, but we also need that knowledge hub. So we must build our knowledge base so that we can guarantee that, yes, you have a tech hub, but the employment strata are Bahamians and not necessarily all foreigners. And we would be moving, the Ministry of Education would be moving towards the establishment of a knowledge hub.
Now, because there is such a demand for students to participate in the technology department of the Institute, the nation's leader says that he made a financial commitment to help students take advantage of the opportunities at BTVI.
We have a program where at least, I think, $1.5 million is allotted for summer employment. But because we have the shortage of technology-skilled individual, I think it's important for us to take some of that money, put aside, and allocate it to those students between the 9th to the 12th graders. And what we would do is ensure that they attend summer programs organized by BTVI, but geared towards technology, building that knowledge base. And that would be funded by us, but at the end of the program, they would be paid for attending and graduating, knowing that we are building that knowledge base, preparing our children for the future.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this.